been a while since I shared my unhealthy snacking behavior with you, huh? I'm so sorry, I'm trying my best, I swear, please believe me. Okay, enough of being pathetic. Welcome back to my foodie corner, where I try all different kinds of treats, whether sweet, salty, spicy, drinkable, I try them all. And this time I went to Half Price, which technically should feel like a cheap store, or at least cheaper, but irony has it, the food there ain't very cheap. That is why this time I have only 5 items for you. I know, disappointing, but you know who wasn't disappointed? My wallet. So there you go. I guess I care about it, but more than I care about my viewers. Pretend you didn't hear that. Love you, Goobs. Hehe. Only later on I came up with the title, but felt too prideful to lie to you that this is the reason for having less to test this time. Without further ado though, let's start with the reviews, shall we? This one I tried back in late summer. Yes, this is how long I procrastinated with this video. And as the temperatures back then kept swaying from hot to annoyingly windy and rainy, once I caught a perfect warm day to refresh myself with this cutesy watermelon age drink, I knew I had to start this video with it. I don't know if you ended up in a Korean 7-Eleven loophole of TikToks where people make all kinds of drinks from those kind of plastic baggies, but let me tell you that the aesthetic of those short videos definitely made me crave for a similar experience, so when I saw those drinks on the shelf, I knew it is a must try for me. Was it worth it? I'd say yes. I think it deserves a 4 out of 5 rating though. I wanted to give it much lower score after the first sip. You see, it's extremely sweet, overly sweet, if you don't add water to it. You'll feel as if you were drinking melted candies. And you may say that it's unfair, because I should rate the product on its own, while I rated it after I added something extra. Just chill, my dudes. I see adding water to it as if I were adding water to instant noodles, so it's all fair in my eyes. I would say I'm one of those peeps who gets easily swayed by the product's packaging, so to choose something in the most basic ass package and actually buy it was something very out of character for me. I had no idea what kurabe was, but I read peanut butter and I was immediately sold. I didn't know what texture to expect. The snack on the package looked as if it were to crumble in my hands, like literally it looked like a pile of flour, but in the end it turns out kurabe is a very friable cookie that has a lot of powdered sugar around it. A nice 3 out of 5. It is a bit messy to eat for sure, but the biggest disappointment was to not feel any peanut butter. I thought it would be inside as a filling, but I guess it was a part of the batter, so you won't really get a bit of salty flavor from it, which in my opinion would add up to the experience. I liked how they added whole peanuts though. Other than that, they are your typical cookies, the ones from the nicer package that your grandma gives to her guests when they come to visit. To have a little bit of a change from this sweetness, I thought it was time to spice things up with Yoppoki hot and spicy. Jokes on me, those little crisps were more sweet than spicy. Sure, the hot flavor was there as well, but it wasn't as strong as I had expected. The texture was quite interesting. I thought it would be more like a corn chip, you know, Cheeto-like. Instead, it was more like dry instant noodles. Kinda weird, but not an unwelcome experience. What I disliked more there were the spices in which those small crunchy straws were sprinkled with. Because of them, they were kinda sticky. So if you are bothered when the powder stays on your fingers, so you have to wipe them off, you won't be able to wipe them off in this case. Either you lick it off or wash your hands. It sticks this strong. 3 out of 5, it was quite good in flavor, but when I want this type of snack, I prefer it to be salty. This one had way too overpowering sweetness that made me nauseous after eating just a few. Now for something that looked too adorable not to get, Bourbon Kikori no Kirikabu chocolate biscuits. If you weren't aware, one of the more popular biscuits in Japan are mushroom shaped, where the leg of a shroom is made from a biscuit and the heart is chocolate. It is exactly the same thing, but in the shape of tree trunks, which for some reason I find extremely adorable. Maybe I just recognize them as part of the cozy pixel game element that causes that, I don't know. Back to flavor testing. The chocolate part was really nice. It felt more like how chocolate used to taste before the company started putting tons of chemicals instead of preserving the chocolatey treats with a bit of alcohol. But I checked the ingredients list and couldn't find anything unique, so I have no idea how they managed to do that. The biscuit there, I wish it had a bit less of a flour aftertaste and texture. I feel like I say that a lot, but that's the only way I know how to describe this feeling. I'm sorry. Still, I want to give them 4 out of 5. In the end, the chocolate taste overpowered the simple biscuit. The presentation was adorable and they had a cool Find 5 Differences game, which by the way was the hardest version I ever played. Definitely would buy again. And last from this much shorter than usual list, but with the longest name to make up for it, Crayon Shin-chan Chocobi Corn Snack Strawberry Milk. So you know when I hear something something and then milk, when it comes to snacks, I never expect to feel any milk. It is just a BS kind of thing that the companies make up to sell new flavors that aren't much different from already existing ones. But those corn snacks have surprised me. I could most definitely feel the creaminess of milky flavor beyond the strawberry. The worst part of this snack was the price. It really felt like too much for too little, even when they add mystery stickers to the package. You could either get a normal one or Kira Kira one, which I assume was laminated or had sparkly effect. Unfortunately, I didn't get one, but at least I got one of the cuter ones, so I take it as a win. Overall, it's 3 out of 5. Simply from taste, I could even give it a 4, but believe it or not, it was the most expensive thing out of 5 snacks and drinks I got from this store. I hope that you enjoyed my foodie content once again, but I do have bad news. This series will not be continued as something constant. I'm simply running out of stores for me to keep doing it. Sure, I could always come back to the same places or gather around random snacks from different shops and then make a video, but I don't feel like those would be solutions I would be happy with. But from the good news, my two very kind and very sneaky friends have gifted me a mystery snack box. By the way, I totally did not deserve that gift, but thank you so much, Avi and Lupi. Your support means a lot. So this is not the last video of this type you will see. You see what I did here? Gave you bad news, only to follow up with some good ones. I'm just this great. For now, let me know in the comments which one from the snacks in this video would you like to try. Stay safe, eat healthy, and until next time!